Good day, viewers. Welcome to our favorite show, My Story. And today we have somebody spectacular. Somebody I've known way back, and it's really a pleasure sitting with him again after a very long time. On the show with me today, Dr. Olagoke Ifatimehin. He's the HOD of Theatre and Performing at BUK University, Kano. Yeah. So it's good to have you on the show. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. Good to see you, Aregbe.
It's
been a while.
Yes, and it's a pleasure having you on this program.
Thank you.
We've had a couple of persons to talk to us on this show.
Okay.
Like I earlier told you, this is a show where we allow people the avenue to tell their stories because of the young people today. This get rich syndrome. I want to sleep and wake up and get money, and then you see 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old going into money rituals. Gone are those days when we hear that people go into money rituals. It used to be elderly men, men of substance who have walked the face of life, and they discover that there's no way out. So they meet one friend or the other, and they're like, please show me the way. Yeah. And then he shows them the way, and unfortunately, the way is not the way they want to go through, and coming out becomes very difficult. But these days, we see young people deliberately, they know the cost, they're counting it, and they're going into it. So we're trying to, in as much as possible, to also use the social media as a platform so that when they see people like you up there, they don't think you just got there. That's why we want you to tell them your story so that they can understand that life is by determination, focus, following through the process of life. You can, through your God-given talents.
Yeah.
Can we meet you? Tell us about your background, family, education, and lifestyle in general.
Yeah, my name is Dr. Olagoke Ifatimehin. I'm a lecturer with the Department of Theatre and Performing Arts, Bayero University, Kano, where I am privileged to be the head now. Like I mentioned, I was born on the 1st of April, 1981. Yes, and in a family of 10 children, my father, mother, and then 10 children, 3 girls, 7 boys. I'm the 5th in the family. Yeah, but the good thing is my father, very hardworking, mom too, was determined that all of us must attain tertiary education. All of us, all the 10 of us must go to a tertiary institution, all of us. And I'm glad that the 10 of us are graduates. Yes, the 10 of us went to the university and graduated. Yes. So life was not really easy, but we were brought up on perseverance and consistency. That as long as you stay consistent and you persevere, the weather will change. Right? So yeah. So we went through a lot, and we were dedicated and committed to our studies, to whatever it is any role, any function you give us to do. We have been brought up to put in our very best. That is how we are raised. I have 2 kids, and they are doing fantastic too. So yeah, so in terms of the transition, I will not have 10 children. Most certainly. In fact, these 2 don't do.
So you're saying probably maybe if they didn't have that 10, they might have had the luxury of giving you more.
Yeah. No, most certainly. Training 10 children and training 3, is different. If the resources shared among 10 were to be shared among 3 or 2, of course the quality would be different. Yeah, but the man ensured that everybody got carried along and all that. So, yeah.
So what was going on?
Yeah, we grew up in an open community. The area we grew up in, Numan first, was cosmopolitan. You have Igbo people, Bachama people, Hausa people, Fulani, and we were all living in harmony. In fact, the first person to mentor me was an imam. Yes, an imam who was handling a mosque. My dad, the first book I remember my dad bought for me, that I remember, aside Brighter Grammar and all educational books, the first book he bought for me for pleasure is What is Islam? I can't remember the name of the author. Now, What is Islam? That's the first book he gave me, like I should read, like literature outside of school, academic curriculum. You understand? So life then was really fun. My best friend was a Muslim. We close from school. I bring Gary, he brings Nono, and we sit inside the mosque and we drink the Nono and we read there. And we, so life was really a communal. Nobody was so inclined with all these ethnic things that are coming up today. So growing up for me was really fun. It was fun. And we had the opportunity to go to places, to play and all that. Nowadays, children are no longer allowed to be children, but we were really happy. Irrespective of in terms of resources and all that, the limits, we were happy people. You get, and our parents were available, they were present, they were there for us. So that was the kind of upbringing. My father, is a great disciplinarian. He does not tolerate unnecessarily play. He will rather have you read 24 hours a day. Yeah, but the good thing is once he steps out and he goes to work, we come out to play. But we know the sound of his car. So and his horn. Once we hear it, we run back and we pick books and pretend as if we have been reading all along. Yeah, So it was fun, really. It was fun. We had fun. And the community it took a village to raise a child. Yeah, but, so unfortunately things have changed now. But we enjoyed it and we played in the open and all that. All this insecurity and all that were not like that then. People could be trusted, unlike now. So that was how it was for me. And we grew up together. The 10 of us, we were together in the same place. Yeah. So it was fun, really. It was fun, yeah.
Okay, so
okay, we spoke about educational background. Yeah, I went to Central Primary School, what they call LEA today. Yes, but my father also homeschooled us. Like when we returned from school, he takes his time to go over our books, and gives us lessons and all that. To the point that when I joined secondary school, government secondary school, my teacher asked if I went to Better Future. That's the name of the school. It's a private school then.
That was the school in Vogue.
Yeah, that was like the bear. So, he asked me, I said, no, I went to Central. And the man couldn't believe it, because of the kind of attention we received in terms of parental care. And then, of course, the teachers too in public schools then were giving in their best, Then from there, I proceeded to the university. I schooled in Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, where I obtained all my degrees, BA, MA, PhD in theatre and performing arts, all my degrees, yes.
So just very quickly, parents, you heard that they said there was parental attention. So in as much as we pay so much attention on the youth saying we're finding them, doing some things that are not pleasant these days, parents have a lot of role to play. You see, his dad had attention time to the extent that when they were back from school, they paid more attention on them. And he went to his secondary school, and the teacher was surprised to ask him, did you go to the popular private school? That means that there's a place that the parents can play in the life of a child, in his educational system. And when you go out there, people would have to ask questions like, where is this child coming from? So, moving further, sir, who are you today? How did you get here? And are you satisfied already? So this question is two in one. What inspires you or motivates you in life generally, and specifically in your line of career?
Okay, I've always loved to see people grow. Like I've always loved to see that people are moving from point A to point B, like they keep growing. It's something I've always been passionate about. And then the kind of training I received and the course I studied is such that you will have to work with people, groom them, and get them to do better for the ultimate goal of maybe a production and all that. Because my specialization is directing, in the theater. Yeah, so I've always wanted to see people grow. There was a time when I finished my MA, I was so positive that I would join the teaching services in Ahmadu Bello University where I schooled. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So I had to leave and I came to Abuja and I joined the National Council for Arts and Culture. But then my boss, then Abdullahi, will call me and he will tell me, "Yeah, you don't belong here with all you have, that you should go back to the academy, go back to school and all that." And he kept, motivating me that I should do that. So I picked my PhD form that, okay, while working I'll go and do PhD. Then a lot of things happened that I had to leave Abuja, and then I moved to Zaria, and then a BUK then wanted to start the theater program. So we were called and invited to have an interview and all that. After like a month or so, we were invited back and given the job. Yeah, so I had started my PhD, then I got the teaching job. And I've always wanted to teach anyway, because I love to see me making impact directly in the lives of people. So I accepted it, and I did my PhD. Immediately after my PhD, I was appointed the head of department, and we have been at it. So I think that I'm quite a simple person, straightforward, but I'm also a disciplinarian. You cannot just mess up.
I know that part.
Yeah, we will play. We will play and have fun. We go play like goats begin. But when it comes to work, we will work. We will work. Yeah, anybody who works with me knows that. I'm a different person when I'm working, and I'm a different person when we are playing. So most people meet me, we play first before we work. So they are always surprised that is it not this same person that we were just, Yeah, because I believe that there's time for everything, and you have to give your best to whichever one it is you are doing. Yeah, so that's me. I want to believe that I'm approachable. I want to believe that I'm open and available for anyone who seeks for my attention and all that. So I believe that's the kind of person I am.
Are you satisfied with it?
No. I'm far from being satisfied. I'm far from being satisfied. I'm glad that I can see people transforming, people growing, and I get feedback about the kind of impact we have on people and all that positively. Yes, but this is just a phase in my life. I do not intend to be a lecturer forever. Yeah, this is just a phase in my life, because I'm also growing, and I'm also experiencing life, and I want more for myself too. Yes, I want more for myself too. So
you had that. He wants more for himself. So maybe you're just where you are right now, and you feel that you're satisfied already. There's more to life. There's so much. You can hear the kind of person he is, his personality and the rest of it. But then he's still telling you that he wants more. That is to say, he has not gotten to the height of his potential. That means there's so much more in human. The last time I was reading, I discovered that the person who had done so much used just 10% of his brain. So I can imagine if somebody uses 20, 30, or even up to 50, that means you would explore and do so much more. And there's this capacity to do a lot. So, sir, based on your background, did you ever think while you were younger that you can become this man that you are today?
Yeah, you see, again, we had guidance, parental guidance. And our dad will always tell us that you can be whoever you want to be. Yeah, that it does not matter where you are coming from. Where you are coming from is important, but it does not matter, it does not determine where you are going. Right? So, so we had that openness that we can actually become whoever we want to be, no matter the height. Yes. So, and I'm glad that today we are getting there. That this is just, like I said, a phase in the preparation to the bigger picture. Yeah. So, yes, I've always believed that the top of the toppest top is a place that one can actually get to, and I'm just starting. Some people will say, he's here, he's there, he's now HOD, yes, he has arrived. Me, I've not even started. This one is just warm up. Yes, it's just warm up. Yes, we are just rehearsing. By the time we get to the performance proper, so now is a preparatory stage. Yes, we're getting prepared to the responsibilities that are to come. Yes.
This is beautiful. I'm so happy to hear that, and I know that this is challenging somebody already. Somebody is listening to this at this point, and then it's making adverse effect on the person to know that, I mean, there's a better tomorrow.
Of course.
Maybe he was going to give up and think that, I mean, there was nothing from where I'm coming from. What is there to offer tomorrow when we already have the children of the big people there? But you're already telling them that from a humble background, it's possible to.
Of course.
Yeah, and even
of course.
Beyond.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges you faced while you were growing up?
Well, life will always throw challenges at you. Like it's a normal thing that without conflict there is no harmony. Conflict is a key part of life. So challenges will come here and there. And then your expectations, like I mentioned, I thought that I would just become a lecturer immediately after my master's. So usually because that dream did not work, you'll think that maybe that's not for me, you'll just give up. But I kept believing that no, there is a phase in my life that has to do with this teaching, this lecturing, and I never gave up, but I went back and I did more, preparing myself for the opportunity when it comes, So there are lots and lots and lots and lots of challenges.
For example, when you were in university, did you get the opportunity to have everything you wanted?
No, it's not possible that you'll have everything you want, But again, even during our schooling days as undergraduates in the university, our program is such that brings everybody together. So you become like a family. And we realized this early as a class, my set as a class, we realized early that we had to operate as a team, as a family. So yes, there are people who do not have and there are people who have, but we were able to harness. And those who had were assisting those who did not have. And then you will find out that everybody has something to contribute, right? Somebody may have money, another person has the time to read the book. So somebody who has the money will get the book, give to the person who will read it, and the person who will read it will now come and teach. Yeah, you understand? So that was the kind of family we had as a class, and it helped a lot. Yeah. So for those of us who were not necessarily poor, but were not rich, right? So there were challenges. There were times that we would go back to the room. If I mention my friends to you when we were in school and where they are today, you will laugh. You know some of them. There were days that we would sleep in our hostels. We did not have anything to eat. Yes, we did not have food like this to eat. And girls in our class will know. So they will cook and bring food to us in class and we'll eat. There are nights that we will dodge other people and stroll around the campus and we'll eat raw mangoes like this, and we survived. So yes, you can't get all you want, but you must have a dream and you must believe in the beauty and possibility of your dreams. And yes, and then you stay focused. It will come. It will come. Everybody.
Did you hear that? That's the word. Stay focused.
Yeah.
Just be determined. Know that it will come.
Yeah.
Whether sooner or later, don't be in a rush. You see, when you rush out, you'll always rush. When you rush in, you'll always rush out. So don't rush in so that you don't rush out. Go in gradually. Life is a process. It's a phase. Like you heard him say, life is a process. It's a phase. You take one step at a time. Don't rush it. You're 16, you're 17. It's the time to be in the university. It's the time to sleep. It's when it's time to sleep. When it's time to eat. When it's time to bathe. So that's the same way life is. You were not just born today and then you became 16-year-old today. No. So when it's not time for you to be a multi-millionaire, don't be in a hurry to be a multi-millionaire. When it's not time for you to be a billionaire, don't be in a hurry because you see it work out for somebody else. Yours might not be in the same way. So there's a God-given talent in everybody. Just focus. Check inwardly. And as you follow through life, God will help you to get there. So as a follow-up question, with the trend in the society, in your time as a growing teenager and youth, were there no options of shortcuts like young people are, trading?
Of course.
Through to do? And why did you opt for the right path?
Of course, there are always shortcuts. There are always shortcuts. But you see, we grew up with moral upbringing. Like I remember, my father will tell you a shortcut is always a wrong cut. That a shortcut is a wrong cut. That there is a process, and the process prepares you. There are people who never went through the process, who never got prepared, and then they got the wealth. But because they were not prepared to handle the wealth, either they lavishly waste it or it destroys them. You understand? Yeah, but if you go through the process and you acquire from your own experiences, you already know that you are getting prepared for what you are accumulating, right? So, but you do not prepare and it comes upon you. You won't know what to do. In fact, it reveals the demon, the devil in you, because you were not prepared for it, right? So I know that everything that's happening around me is preparing me for something that's coming. Everything that happens to me is preparing me for something that's coming, and it's teaching me how to handle it. But those of us, I don't even know where that syndrome, where that consciousness is coming from, that you don't even know how to crawl and you already want to fly. You understand? It doesn't work that way. So when you land, what do? You crash. Because you cannot fly on the ground. You understand? We need to be patient, really. We need to be patient, and there is time, just like you mentioned, for everything. There's time for everything. Yes, they say when we were growing up, they used to say that the patient dog eats the fattest bone. But you know, this generation has changed it, that the patient dog will not even see any bone to eat. You know, so they tell you hustle means that you have to go beyond the now and then make sure you get it earlier. Yeah, but there is always a process that prepares you for life. And once you avoid the process and what you are interested in is the goal, it brings about an ending, right? Yeah, so I would always say that people must be patient enough to follow the process. Some people's processes take longer, some take shorter, but the point is you must go through a preparation. There must be a process of growth, of development, of acquiring wealth, of becoming whoever it is you want to be.
Did you hear? Process. And like his dad said, a shortcut is a wrong cut. So why are you even opting for the shortcut in the first place? Since you already know that it's a wrong cut. In case you don't know, now we're telling you that a shortcut is a wrong cut. And life is a process. You cannot just jump. Like I earlier said, a child is giving birth today, he has to be breastfeeding with breast milk, and then he has to grow gradually to begin to eat soft food, and then when he can now, even you see small children, they prefer to give them Indomie and all this light food, egg and all of this light food for them to eat. It has its effects on them. It still makes them grow and strong. So don't be in a hurry to get to the goal. Follow the process. There is a process. Don't miss it. The moment you miss the process, you will miss the goal. That means you will crash. If you are flying when you are supposed to walk, it means that when you come down, you will not be able to walk. You will crash at the end of the day. So, sir, finally, what's your advice for young people? I mean, from childhood to teenage to adulthood.
Well, first is that we should be patient, because this generation that we tag Generation Z, they are very impatient people, and what they see out there, and those things may not even necessarily be true. They believe that they too must have it, you know, and it doesn't work that way. And because they believe they must have it, they begin to engage in malpractices, like the ritual killings and Yahoo, internet fraud and all that. That's not the way, honestly. Just have the fear of God, believe in yourself, and we will all get there. God has a plan for everyone. Anyone you see, God has a plan for that person. But it requires that you be patient and be diligent. You be patient and be diligent. I say, whoever a man you see diligent in the straight shall, you should be diligent. You know, that is just what it requires. Stay on track, be patient. You say it's happening for this person, it's not happening for you. It's because you don't know what your own is. Wait, the same, an elephant and let's say a pig or a sheep, you know, carry the same pregnancy. But the time of delivery is different. It's because one is an elephant, the other one is a sheep. You understand? So it takes time It takes time. Don't unnecessarily compare your life with, yes, you know, believe in yourself. If it can happen to this person, it can happen for you too. Believe you. Everybody has his own appointed time. Be patient. Do your part. Because some people assume that patience means you should go and be idle. You have to get something doing. And once you stay diligent, it will be blessed. You stay diligent, it will be blessed. Some people, they will start something and then they will now turn and see that another person is doing something else and that one is not. And yes, and then because you are distracted, your own is not working because you are not paying attention to it. You are looking at what another person is doing, and because he is paying attention to what he is doing, is working for him. So you abandon this one and you jump onto that one, and then you now see another one, and this one now is no longer, you know, and you keep jumping around. You keep jumping around, you know. So that patience is critical. Patience is critical. Be patient and be diligent. It will come. It will come. I mean, if my story, there is so much to say, really, but we thank God today that we are where we are at, and we are still going further, we are still going forward, and we will keep growing. Yes.
You heard that. Patience, diligence, focus. These three words are what I want you to go with from today's show. Patience, diligence, and focus. When you are patient, your time will, there's a God-given talent in everybody. Check inwardly. Allow time to grow it out. You see patience? Time is a revealer of truth.
It is.
Time is a revealer of truth. So by patience, you are determined and you're focused. This is my thing. I'm not allowing Mr. A's life to distract my own. So I'm saying, because I studied theater, he studied theater. Today he's doing very well. He's an HOD, he's a doctor in theater and performing art. But I'm doing my story. I'm telling his story. So should that make me be, should I be focused and say because he's a lecturer, he's now a PhD holder and all of that, I also want, no, if that's not where God wants me to be, then I shouldn't be there. I should also do well in, this my
what
area
you're doing,
life,
yes.
in what I'm doing.
Yes.
So you see, this is a story already for you. I don't know who's listening to this at this point, but this is a story for you. Be determined, be focused, and ultimately be patient. Don't allow other people's life to distract you. Today you have heard Dr. Olagoke's story. Please, let this story make an impact in you. Let it not just be a story that you have heard. Let it not be one of the stories that you have heard and then it has gone by. Please allow it to make impact in you. Allow it to change your life. Allow it, let's say maybe in another 5, 6, 7 years, you meet Dr. Ola at an airport or somewhere, and then you're saying, oh, I heard your story, and your story is what has changed me and made me, what I am today. So this is where we call it a wrap on the show today.
Thank you.
Ola, thank you so much.
I'm grateful.
This is an honor. And
I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm honored to be here too.
So, viewers, you know how we do it. Same time, same station. You're always going to have a lot of enriching stories. Trust me, you want to watch the next story. It is something you don't want to miss. Just stay glued. Thank you and God bless you. I remain your favorite host, Olagoke Ifatimehin. Goodbye.